Hello everyone, welcome to LBS IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss economics MCQs based on previous year UPSC questions through this series. So let's start our session. Our first question is, the Narasimha Committee for Financial Sector Reforms has suggested reduction in option A, SLR and CRR, that is statutory liquidity ratio and cash reserve ratio. Option B, SLR, CRR and priority sector financing. Option C, SLR and financing to capital goods sector. Option D, CRR, priority sector financing and financing to capital goods sector. Here, correct answer to this question is option B, SLR, CRR and priority sector financing. Narasimha Committee for Financial Sector Reforms 1991 has suggested reduction in SLR, CRR and priority sector financing, reducing it from 40% to 10%. Most of the suggestions of the committee were not implemented. The key recommendations with respect to the banking sectors were reduction in the statutory liquidity ratio and cash reserve ratio. The committee also recommended that banks should get some interest on the CRR balance. The Narasimha Committee redefined the priority sector to include the marginal farmers, teeny sector, small business and transport sector, village and cottage industries, etc. The committee also recommended that there should be a target of 10% of the aggregate credit fixed for the priority sector. Next is the price fluctuations of 4 scrips in a stock market in the 4 quarters of a year are shown in the table below. 4 different investors had the following portfolios of investment in the 4 companies throughout the year. The stock market performance are provided in the question. In the light of the above, which investor made the best investment? Here, answer to this question is option A, investor 1, because investor 1 has the maximum subscriptions of scrip D, which is making the highest effective profit of 25% at the end of the year. The other scrip A and C have huge loss and scrip B is merely making a profit of 7%. Next is the largest source of financing the public sector outlay of the 8th 5-year plan comes from. Options are balance from current revenue, contribution of public enterprises, government borrowings and deficit financing. Here answer to this question is option D, deficit financing. Under deficit financing, the government spends more money than it collects as revenue. The difference being made up by borrowing from the Reserve Bank of India by issue of promissory notes. Next is the new Exim policy announced in 1992 is for a period of option A 3 years, option B 4 years, option C 7 years, option D 5 years. Here answer to this question is option D 5 years. The new Exim policy was for 5 years. Export-import policy, or better known as Exim policy, is a set of guidelines and instructions related to the import and export of goods. The Government of India notifies the Exim policy for a period of 5 years under Section 5 of the Foreign Trade, Development and Regulation Act 1992. Next is Hawala transaction related to payments. Option A, received in rupees against overseas currencies and vice versa without going through the official channels. Option B, received for sale or transfer of shares without going through the established stock exchanges. Option C, received as a commission for services rendered to overseas investors. Option D, made to political parties or to individuals for meeting election expenses. Here answer to this question is option A, that is received in rupees against overseas currencies and vice versa. Hawala is an illegal method of remittance across countries, that is informal means of transferring money across the globe. Transfer is done from one country to another country secretly. That is, money is transferred via a network of Hawala brokers. There are money brokers who are the middlemen who undertake Hawala transfer. This method of remittance does not involve physical movement of cash. It is also known as hundi. The word Hawala means trust. The Hawala system works as it is based on mutual trust between Hawala agents. It works outside the banking system and legal financial systems. The remittance happens based on communication between the Hawala agents. It's an alternate to traditional remittance system. Next is the sum of which of the following constitute broad money in India? Currency with the public, demand deposit with banks, time deposit with banks, other deposit with the RBI. Choose the correct answer using the codes given below. Here answer to this question is option C, all the above. Broad money is equal to narrow money plus time deposit of public with banks. That is, broad money is equal to currency and coins with the public plus demand deposit of the bank plus other deposit with RBI and the time deposit of the banks. Next is consider the following: Industrial Finance Corporation of India, Industrial Credit Investment Corporation of India, Industrial Development Bank of India, Unit Trust of India. The correct sequence in which the above were established is, here answer to this question is option A 1, 2, 4, 3. That is IFCI, Industrial Finance Corporation of India, established in 1948. ICICI, that is Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, established in 1955. ICICI Bank was established as an Indian financial institution as a wholly owned subsidiary in 1994 in Vadodara. However, the parent company was formed in 1955. UTI, that is Unit Trust of India, established in 1963. IDBI, that is Industrial Development Bank of India, established in 1964. So the correct answer is option A 1, 2, 4, 3. Next is, which one of the following is correct regarding stabilization and structural adjustment as two components of the new economic policy adopted in India? Option A, stabilization is a gradual multi-step process while structural adjustment is a quick adaptation process. That is incorrect. Option B, structural adjustment is a gradual multi-step process while stabilization is a quick adaptation process. That is correct. So here answer to this question is option B. Structural adjustment is a gradual multi-step process while stabilization is a quick adaptation process. New economic policy was adopted in 1991 based on Rao Manmohan model. Stabilization component of any economy is essentially a short-term program, while the structural readjustment component is a long-term process. Next is, they are fantastically diverse. They speak hundreds of languages and dialects. They comprise scores of ethnic groups. They include highly industrialized economies and up-and-coming economies. They span half of the surface of the earth and are home to 2/5 of the world's population. The group of countries referred to here belongs to, options are SAPTA, APEC, EC and CIS. Here answer to this question is option B, APEC. APEC is the group of 21 countries. APEC or Asia Pacific Economic Corporation was established in 1989 as a regional economic forum to promote sustainable growth and better economic relations among the member countries or economies. This group of countries span half of the surface of the earth and are home of 2/5 of the world's population. Indian request for membership is pending. India is not yet a member of APEC. Next is, consider the following statements. Most international agencies which fund development programs in India on intergovernmental bilateral agreements mainly provide statements are technical assistance, soft loans which are required to be paid back with interest, grants not required to be paid back, food assistance to alleviate poverty. Choose the correct answer from the quotes given below. Here answer to this question is option B, statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct. A soft loan is a loan with a below market rate of interest. This is also known as soft financing. Sometimes soft loans include other concessions to borrowers such as long repayment periods or interest holidays. Soft loans are usually provided to projects which are socially worthwhile. The World Bank and other development institutions provide soft loans to developing countries. Loans to Delhi Metro by Japan is a soft loan.